right, ladies and gentlemen, fantastic! 4 bars on the microphone, look at that, 100% of the body, yeah! But we're going to get going and keep going, ladies and gentlemen, and get the next act on, because there's only 143 acts to come. So we're going to press on that. We'll get the next guy on stage later. And please, well, you know, I'm going really fast, didn't I? I'm going it's like I'm fucking auction here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next act, Chris Scott!
We get the microphone back. Got somewhere to keep one of my hands occupied. That's probably just as well. So, I've got to tell you, I'm seeking help with my alcoholism at the moment. I'm looking for somebody to buy me another pint. Recently made a young lady squirt for the first time. That's pepper spray, but still a result, you know. Learned 2 new things this week. Cats have 9 lives is only a figure of speech. And my local pet shop doesn't do no quibble refunds, despite what they claim. Back in high school, I was used to pick on this kid who had that brittle bone disease. Never forget the day he finally snapped. Well, it's going to get worse, believe me. So I was out on the piss the other night, decided to grab a kebab before I went home. Long story short, I'm no longer welcome in the strip club. I tell the ladies that I'm responsible for a large team of web developers. Sounds a bit better than saying I live in a bedsit with a spider infestation. Finally managed to get hold of some Viagra. I'm a bit confused though. I certainly am confused. I've put the entire wrong fucking lead into that joke. That's what happens when you're half an hour late in the bar right. Finally managed to get my hands on some Hypnol. I'm a little bit confused though, because on the packet it says best before date, and there's no numbers or anything. Most of the girls in my town are slappers anyway. I try to talk to them and they slap me. My sex life is a wee bit like playing golf. I have to use the club before I can get it in the hole. Went fishing at the weekend there and I managed to land a whopper. My town's had a real litter problem since that Burger King opened. So a girl I know posted a video on Facebook of her toddler and said, future footballer. So I pressed play expecting to see the wee lad kicking a soft ball around, but I just stood there and then he fell over and started screaming. She might be onto something. Everybody's on the internet now and it's completely changed society. I mean, getting to that age now where I hanker after the good old days, you know, where you could find porn mags and bushies, and you could find bushies and porn mags. Even my granny's on social media now. She sent me her first ever email that said, I'm not up to speed with all this terminology. Can you tell me what scat porn means? I sent her a couple of screen dumps. My local church was vandalised at the weekend there. They spray painted the number of the beast on the wall. There's a priest's mobile number. See, Katie Price was in the papers again. She said, yet another boob job. I think she just misunderstands whenever her latest fella dumps her and tells her it's because she hasn't got much going on upstairs, you know. When I was a younger man, I decided the time had come I should pop the question to my girlfriend. So I booked a fancy restaurant. When she went to the toilet, I took the engagement ring out and I dropped in her glass of champagne. She never saw it. She drank the champagne and she choked to death. That was a lucky escape. Things could have gone so much worse than that. I'll tell you a little something about myself. I'm bloody rubbish at keeping secrets. Don't tell anybody else I told you that. I'll never forget back in high school, my career teacher, he said, find something you love doing and you'll never work a day in your life. He was absolutely right. Turns out I love sitting on the couch all day watching daytime TV. So I was walking into a public toilet one time and a policeman grabbed a hold of me. He said, what do you think you're doing? I said, I'm just going to the toilet. He said, you want to get your eyes checked, mate? That's the ladies. I said, I'll have you know I identify as someone who has every right to use these facilities. I said, okay, what do you identify as? I said, I identify as a peeping Tom. So it's puzzled me why the medical profession describes some people as being morbidly obese. Surely hilariously obese would be far more. Well, joking aside though, the fat kid from my neighbourhood when I was growing up, he saved my arse 100 times. Local nonce always managed to catch him first. My little nephew's on social media now. He posted on Facebook, I love my hamster to death. I replied, yeah, that happened to mine too. I've heard the Pet Shop Boys get through a lot of hamsters. To put it another way, a lot of hamsters go through the Pet Shop Boys. So we were undressing in the hotel room and the prostitute said, now, just so you know from the outset, I don't do anal. Not for extra money, not for anything. I said, you know what? You're the worst fucking rent boy I've ever picked up. One of the Teletubbies had quite a thing for anal sex. It was Stinky Winky. I do draw the line though at telling jokes about rimming. It's in very bad taste. So on the train coming into Glasgow tonight, there was a young woman sitting opposite me in the carriage, and she opened up her bra and started breastfeeding her baby. Nobody said anything for a couple of minutes. Then this elderly gentleman, a bit prim and proper like, stood up and said, oh really? You have to do that in public? Can't you just wait until you get home? I replied, don't worry mate, I'm nearly finished. Statistically, vegans are about 50% more likely than non-vegans to suffer from broken bones. Well, they will keep going on and on about it. One time I had sex with this really hot black girl. Got to the scene before the fire brigade. I told you it was going to get worse. In my experience, women are a bit like spiders. I don't mind seeing one or two from time to time, but the big hairy ones can fuck right off. I went out on the pool once when I was younger, years ago. Ended up picking up this cougar. She was twice the age of me. Went back to her place and we did a lot, you know, all the positions, kinky stuff, everything. Oh, and I had a cracking night out for my 42nd. You need to get up on here at some point, man. So I was in a nightclub once and this really fit girl came up and said, "Hey, how does a hand job sound?" I thought about it for a minute and then I said, yeah, I think it's about time for a bit of slut shaming. I never seem to meet any sluts, which is a shame. In the local park there's a sign that says, "Please do not cycle on the grass, any injure a small child or an elderly person." I was kind of pissed off about cycling, but at least they've suggested an alternative activity. So one time I was in the cinema watching a film, I got a bit bored with it. I decided to flick some peanuts at some guy who was sitting a couple of rows in front of me. I didn't half overreact. Yeah, well, anaphylactic shock, the paramedics called it, but whatever. Speaking of allergies, a good friend of mine was actually allergic to water. Nah, I say allergic, he drowned. Came out of the pub at closing time one night and there was a young lady, completely plastered, lying on her back on the pavement outside, unconscious. I just did what any decent man would do. I turned her over and put her into the recovery position. Can't beat a bit of spinning.
I thought you were just going in circles.
By now most of you are probably wondering what the fuck is wrong with that guy, but I can explain, right? I was a crack baby. Not like my brother, he was a caesarean section. Anyway, I'll leave you with a couple of points. Just before I die, I'm going to have my name changed by Deadpool to Santa Claus. Just so I can spend eternity traumatising kids who come into the graveyard. One final point, bit of good life advice: if you ever find yourself attacked by a bear, simply roll over and play dead. Very good practice for what's coming next. Anyway, I think that's about the end of my tenure, so ladies and gentlemen, you've been fucking great. I've enjoyed stuff. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,